Lane. It follows the story of 4 girls who are trapped in the building at the Triangle Shirtwaist Factory in 1946. So I hope you all enjoy. If you're sensitive to any topics about death, fires, or anything in that range, I would excuse yourself now. If not, please enjoy the show.
The opportunities. The fire would ignite with a thunderous roar, and my mother would laugh at the sight of the stinking, smoldering flesh.
The freedom!
Freedom! It meant that we had enough money to eat.
Why?
I would watch as the animal's flesh scorched underneath the flames.
Why?
So young.
I always ate so many pustillas that they called me a little doggerel in Russian.
And I would watch as the drippings of the animal's lard plummeted toward the open flames. There was a sizzling sound, and then a pop, 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 pop. The dress I am wearing is from Poland. Our wages are so low at the factory we could hardly afford to buy some of the cheaper garments. This dress was my mother's. She gave it to me before we left, before the trip, before we left the old country.
That was many years ago.
My sister was barely old enough to comprehend.
Get to work!
What?
Work!
Work! From outside this hall, magnificent structure looked
strong,
when in reality it was
fragile, like the shell of an egg.
Mother was
weak, was always trembling. Her mind was tough, but her body was brittle.
I can barely remember my mother. She did not smile often.
We came to America, and that made her very
sad. Sad was joy inside, but at the same time utter sadness.
My mother had sapphire eyes, deep oceans. I could see them piercing through the water into the atmosphere. She sees me. Between rusty clay and the setting sun, my mother's eyes glow outward across the sky screen.
My father loved her very much, but my mother's eyes.
Behind my mother's saddened eyes, there was a place of eternal comfort that I carry with me. With my sister. Within the rim of her iris is where I live now. Last evening, I met a man, Garcelan. He hails from Sweden, 6 feet tall, chestnut-colored hair, and the most impressive of his eyes. How striking he is, arm in arm we stroll. As we turn the corner around 13th Street, my heart, for the first time in my life, felt this strange elation I'd only known from literature. We walked along the storefront until we stopped at one. We looked up. Mr. Marcelino's Italiano food. Beneath the red and green painted sign, he smiled confidently and waved his hand. In an instant, a flicker of light, I just looked over at this gorgeous stranger, whose arm I clutched as if to hold on to it forever. He smiled at me. My face flushed, but I managed to smile back. Then Mr. Marcelino opened up the door and welcomed in his only two customers for the evening as we sat down at the table for two. During dinner, we laughed and smiled, and I just stared at this beautiful man in front of me. Then, from the corner of my eye, I caught a glimpse of Mr. Marcelino smiling at us. We turned off the lights and left out the back door. Just like that. We were alone.
Alone.
Alone in the restaurant. Garcilanco told me how Mr. Marcelino was his neighbor in Naples, and he had known him since he was a young boy. He told me stories of his past, how he used to help his uncle pull in giant kingfish with a giant net, and how he learned to club his enormous fish on the head until they struggled no more. He watched the life drain out of their eyes. As a boy, he was told that this was merciful, but still would cry to himself every night afterwards. He talked about our lives, our past, and our plans for the future. In fact, when I told Garcilanco I wanted to be a designer in fashion, he didn't laugh like so many others had. In fact, he looked at me and said in a calm voice,
I know you will be wonderful.
my entire existence culminated into one night. That night. How many lives will it give to explore New York in a night like that? The lights in New York are so bright that one can barely make out the stars in the sky.
We have all the time in the world now.
Time.
All the time that the planet can offer us. We are no longer looked upon as filthy, gritty immigrants, they call us. Why? Why are we so disgusting?
Why are we so different?
But we are no different here. Here, we are exactly the same, living and breathing and dreaming among the heavens. Just like the rest of the city.
I'm scared.
But don't look down. Never look down.
It was hot. The heat was in my head. The heat was in my...
Soul.
The heat was in my...
Stop!
Don't! Don't look down!
Never look down! And so, I looked out. Straight out. Towards the future. Forward were my eyes. Forward were my hands. Forward was my future.
As the wind snapped against my ruddy cheeks, high above the atmosphere, I could see a large man with beady eyes staring at me from the door. His eyes peered into the depths of my being.
What's in your bag, Missy?
Nothing.
Empty the contents.
No!
Empty your bag now!
They're only scraps.
What is this?
They are scraps of fabric. We don't use them for trousers or anything. They are scraps of the trash.
Lock the door!
No!
Lock them, I say! Come with me!
No!
Now! I can tell this story to the owners!
No!
Let's go!
Let me go!
Come with me, urchin!
I'm free. I'm free. Free.
Soul! Faster! Soul! So she will be let go.
We are Americans!
And what is that supposed to mean?
It means we have determination and strength.
Perhaps but for how long?
For as long as we live!
We'll see about that. You'll soar until the ending bell.
She needs a break. She needs to breathe. You lock us away like animals.
You steal and lie. Who's the animal now?
I am clear. I am calm. I collect myself and then I push against the door. It does not move. I push again and again with all my weight, but the door does not move. The door is locked.
Away in our own little world, we stroll through the crisp January air. His warm hand tickled my palm. His fingers crawling like loving little spiders as he wrapped his hand in mine. I stood gazing at the darkened aurora, the enormous pumpkin orange moon lazily seeping to the corners of my cornea. Reddening our faces, we basked in a different kind of glow. In one hand, I held my heart. In the other, I reached out to touch the moon. My stomach began to churn, and my whole body began to tremble. His hands were coarse and weathered. He works in a printing factory in the Lower East Side. No amount of scrubbing could ever get out the oil and grease from underneath his fingernails. The Hard Institute of American Labor. Within his large, dirty paws, my fingers rest like delicate rose petals. I began to lightly shiver as rain began to drizzle from the heavens. With one arm, he swung his arm behind my back and drew me in close in a warm embrace as we stood face to face. I thought he was going to kiss me, and as I leaned in to meet his breath, he suddenly jerked my body away and we began to dance. And like a forgotten child of summers in Innsbruck, the two of us danced and laughed. The cathartic tones and forgotten rhythms of the music had developed in my body. And the entire day the factory was forgotten. We swung our young, precious bodies around and around in the middle of Times Square. There was no music, but we danced nonetheless. Onlookers pointed and laughed at the crazy immigrants swinging around the horses and carriages with men carrying boxes. And against the flickering illumination of the candlelight, our shadows danced across the moonlight. How does this man, who knows nothing about me in this world, know that when I am dancing, the movement possesses my feet and feeds my soul full of mirth? How did he know this? I only met him 9 days ago, and he has mysteriously entered my soul and found the key to my laughter. Let my mind and spirit run free and loose. My mind is untethered, like a carousel as it spins around and around. The sweet chords of their instrument rub my temples and sink deep within the pores of my skin. And as we finally enter the front door, the smiles on our faces collapsed into straight lines. Soft and slow, I savored each precious moment. The taste of his lips, safe. The ecstasy of his breath, irresistible. The gleam in his eye, as we finally pulled away from one another. This drop in time, I will always carry with me. For I will never see him again. And now there is nothing. There is nothing. My bones are melting. My skin is flaking off as the searing heat lifts my brain. The crimson dragon is tugging at my soul, while blood perspires on my eyeballs. The capillary fused with the frail, chalky bones of my broken body.
I have never seen such height.
I can feel her heart habit in the chest. We hold each other so tight, her bony ribs stab through my ashen, searing skin.
Smoke begins to fill my lungs. I must leave. I must escape. escaped. I must traverse the fire escape. Hand in hand, we slip our charred bodies through the red bricks and shards of broken glass. I can hear the terror, the screams of the people on the street below.
We are 9 stories up.
I'm afraid of heights.
As we begin to descend the window out into the fire escape,
I hear a voice, a primal howl. A girl screams from inside the building. She speaks Russian. She is shrieking and thrashing around like a savage beast. I can only see her head and her backside. I hesitate, then I move in an instant. I stop as the body turns around, flames of fire are developing closer. Her flesh is a fire. Her arms flail wildly. I can see bone. I do not know this girl. I've never seen this person in our factory before. I cannot recognize her either. Maybe I could have, but I can no longer see as the hellfire fills her face. I run towards her, but my sister pulls me back. I break free and run towards the wild creature, but before I can take 2 steps, the wooden floorboards beneath my feet give way, and in an instant I can feel all of my internal organs in my throat. My body falls. As my arms reach instinctively upwards, I feel a pair of hands grab my wrist. It is my sister,
the person I am closest to in this world.
Yelda,
Yelda.
Yes, Father?
my children, we have given your life no meaning. Live as you couldn't in our old world. This new land is wonderful. Its people are magnificent. I must go now.
No!
It is the will of God. Now is the time. The Lord has blessed you both with the wings of angels, and I cannot help but feel so proud that I helped you fly. And you will live a long and healthy life.
Father!
No tears, no sorrow, only life. Live your life, my children. Make me so proud. I will see you beneath the rainbow.
Father!
Farewell.
Now we are together. Finally together. I am with the person I am closest to.
The person I am closest to in this world.
My sister.
Through the seether, cinder planks below my feet, I spot the tempest that is the raging fire. Through the searing heat, time freezes. Girls like us, barely women, are screaming, running, dying. The images stay in my mind, unclouded like moving photographs.
I pull.
My sister pulls my tiny body close to hers, unscathed, safe.
We are safe. We race to the window. 100 of bodies are waiting, crushing the way out of the 9th story. The building's frame is splitting. The structure is collapsing. The heat is melting the water between the red bricks. As I put my hand on the wall, it simply gives away 9 stories down the green street. As I look over a burning campfires, my long auburn hair weaves across my face. Sweat and smoke pollute my brain. Yet I in my arms, still like a porcelain doll. Down below, I can make out a circle. A group of men hold a massive net.
A circular net. Like fishermen, they have come to take us home.
They can catch us like butterflies.
The fishermen are strong. Their backs undulate and spasm from hauling in the massive fish from the deeps of the deep blue. Day in, day out, these men provide for their families. Look after their families. It is the way of things in Italy. It has always been that way.
Yes, I can see them. The men are wearing bumblebee striped hats and heavy wool coats. The strapping voices rise up in the ebony smoke. The resonance is garbled but solid.
Jump!
We must jump! Jump!
Like creatures of the ocean who want to be caught.
But the women are terrified.
You must jump!
Our spirit is undeniable.
Yes.
I am reminded of the Torah. Inside our temple is stained glass. Across the luminous ethereal patterns I spot a woman, a mature woman. Her back is arched. She smiles with a rose in her teeth. I cannot see her face.
I can see her. She is looking for Adonai.
The woman gently turns towards me. The woman looking back at me is
Gazing and staring.
fixing on my face. It is me. My face. I am old.
You will grow old, Lena. You will be the most beautiful babushka in the world.
And now we are the creatures waiting to be caught in the net below. The girl's body pushes me out over the edge. I didn't see her face. I didn't even know what she looked like. And without another thought, another word, another human being to touch. I am driving straight towards Green Street.
Green Street! You must jump onto Green Street!
The mere word brings a smile to my face. Green, green, I am reminded of the summers in Hanover.
Summers in Innsbruck.
The summers in Slovakia.
I would hide from my brothers as he would hide from me. Well, our parents would try to find us in a childish game we loved so much. I would hide from him, and he would hide from me, deep within the grass behind the reeds, silent and motionless until...
Here, blow the tree, come on!
A spider!
Oh, I have it!
It bites!
So do I.
It will bite you!
It's just as much afraid of you as you are of it.
I feel when I am here, nothing else matters. The fighting, the pain. Promise me, when you get married one day, you will be good to her.
Who?
The one you will love. Never hurt her. Never strike her. Promise me.
I promise.
Protect me from the world.
I'm your brother. I'll always protect you.
Even against him.
When I am big and strong enough, yes.
He hurts me. Father hurts me in ways.
I know. But I promise you when I am strong enough, you will never hurt you again.
They never knew where we went to. Out of the green. We would escape into the rich fields of emerald, jade, and malachite. He never came after us, after me, while we were here among nature. It was only in the confines of that house, the confines of that building that held my soul captive.
As the waters see the grates, I gaze across Manhattan skyline. The black, radiating smoke has cleared for a moment, finally allowing snowy clouds to almost touch my hand, alluring me, inviting me. And with my sister's head buried in my chest, we jump in an instant. We are flying. We have wings and we can fly. Our wings will take us. In a fraction of a second, our entire world has become a microcosm. My entire life beats on the head of a pin. So many pins. Our lives are now threaded to this moment, to this place. The pattern of our lives is now exposed.
The rosy crumbling edifice, I can hear the cacophony of voices sifting through rosy haze of confusion. For the 16 years I have lived in the United States, I have not spoken a word of Russian. I read in English, I speak in English. In Russian, the words are harsh and bitter. In English, the words flow and fly. For English is now my tongue. That is how I will remember. Father instructed us.
Gather round, girls, gather round. Come.
Mother had passed before the children, but my father held such a warm heart that against all odds he brought us to this land anew.
You will be in America soon. You will speak only English.
You, Papa?
No, in English. Do you understand?
He taught us the words.
Work,
Work,
joy,
joy,
play,
play,
heart,
heart,
truth,
truth,
compassion,
compassion,
and family.
Family.
You are my family, my children. What has been left behind is only a memory. Live now, my children. Live now. Enjoy your life. Work hard. Look forward and never back. I will soon pass. And Elena, you will become head of the family.
Father, I'm frightened!
Elena, you have firmness, vitality. You will find that strength in great measure and lead this family.
As father,
Never forget, never look back, and never
Look down.
Never.
look down, and the curving sounds and puttering vowels that roll off my lips. I have one person to thank for this gift. My sister. My sister taught me to speak English in this country. And as I stand on the spider's cape, I look into my sister's eyes and that is my one word for love, and I cannot express it through words anyhow. My heartfelt realization is that she is so much to me, and she is all I have in this world, and all that I will carry into the next.
It didn't hold. It didn't hold. Under the melting pressures of bodies, the fire escape did not hold. The molten metal of the elevator shaft, I am drifting downward.
We are all downward now. Compassion knows not the bounds of economics.
The chaos of my mind constricts my throat. I can feel the smoke as it fills my lungs. I feel nothing. I see nothing.
We are nothing.
And we drift. As I gaze across the clouds, I spot a luminous mural of gold and green thick across the body of a little bug. It's a butterfly. Its wings seem to pulse at a different pace in real time. She flies with great difficulty, for one of her wings is defectively larger. Still, she maintains her dignity and spirit even in the face of certain doom. The deformed wing flutters harder to compensate for the fallacy of her birth, a creature that orders survival of the fetus. She is now alone in the world. Her body rises and turns 9 stories above the earth. Never has this butterfly flown so high before. Still, the little creature, full of spirit and beauty, maintains her dignity. She is determined that in her difference, conformity will never affect her flight. I can see the faces of my past, my relatives, my friends. I see images as if caught in a photograph at the bottom of the elevator shaft. A sea of flames has engulfed the tangle of aching, mourning bodies. I am falling down into a maelstrom of blood and tears. Now enveloped, I broil within the confines of my own skin.
As children, my sister and I would imagine ourselves dancing up to evening clouds that lay low over the horizon. We would dance and laugh until the last of sunlight was gone and the hungry moon would make its entrance. We would laugh and laugh and laugh. Me and my sister would look at the golden orb that was the moon and dream of the sweet taste of chocolate. And I would go beside her ear and tell her the tales of the lands of opportunity. Look, my sister, look, look! I can see it. It's a little butterfly. Its contour seems to transform while it morphs into a magnificent beast. I can see it.
And so my sister would fly.
And as my sinew snapped, and the layers of my flesh moaned to themselves, I could only ask one question.
Why? Was this the worth of my life? I had always wanted to be a ballerina.
Be whatever you like here.
A dancer?
Yes.
A chocolate maker?
Yes.
A daughter?
Yes.
A mother one day.
You will be whatever you want to be.
When can I choose what I want to be?
Very soon. Very, very soon.
I'm looking, but I'm frightened.
It's okay. It's okay.
It's okay.
I'm so very scared.
I know. We all are.
Swaths of beautifully rich fabric now lay scattered at my feet. Fluid material squeezes up through the holes between my toes. Oh, that beautiful summer day my sister and I went to Brighton Beach. The sand curled between my toes. The sun beat down against my sluggish, worn body from the week's work. I closed my eyes, protecting them from the harsh rays of sun. I can still feel the tiny pebbles of sand massage my exposed skin. It sends pleasurable tingles up my spine and chills my head. Now, with all my strength, my fingers plunge into the rich belt. I try to grasp with all my strength, but I can't seem to grab a hold. My fingernails are tearing. Blood is pooling underneath my nails and streaming down my hands. The fabric of my existence is tearing apart. Along with the metal fire escape, my body careens down through the black cavern towards the cornucopia of colored terrain. A profusion of images stare my eyes as the non-metal sled courses through my veins. The rusted piece of iron punctures my skin, enters my arms, my torso, and finally rests unapologetically above my abdomen. Still conscious, the burning, bloody bodies of broken flesh rain down around me like the leaves of a covered beech tree. The bodies seem to cascade as they slowly rock back and forth before they hit the ground with a soft thud. It's raining. It's raining. ninth floor. Nobody told us, nobody warned us.
The doors were locked.
Locked!
We were locked in!
Like animals on a Spitfire! The fire!
The fire!
Fire!
The workers' strike of 1909 resulted in a signed agreement for all clothing factories in New York with safer working conditions.
The United States government had no control over who signed the agreement.
Every major company signed the agreement out of good faith.
Except
The Triangle Shirtwaist Factory.
March
25th, 1911.
New York.
City.
in less than 30 minutes.
146 bodies are destroyed.
Hundreds more wounded.
The largest industrial disaster in the city's history.
And now we live and die with
The consequences.
Of capitalism.
We left our country with hope.
We left our families with the promise of a richer future.
But little did we know our rights were already made up for us. We left our land for a country that we thought was secure, different, but no place is secure.
No place is safe.
One day.
Perhaps one day. It's not the country's job to protect the people that work for it.
Isn't it?
So!
So,
So what now?
Not now.
No, not now. For now, there is nothing.
Nothing memories.
nothing but fear.
Nothing but fulfillment.
Nothing but bells.
I can feel myself approaching closer and closer, faster and faster through the brisk, blistering air. I can feel my body quiver. Hold me, carry me. Smile for me.
She cannot slow down.
She cannot stop.
Yet before she kisses the earth, she remembers.
My body is found several feet below the sidewalk.
My body is discovered, fused within a heap of molten metal. One of the two elevator shafts that burned in the fire.
I hold my dear sister.
I hold my dear sister,
And I keep holding her.
I keep holding her,
So tight.
and will never let go.
Never.
Never.
We take one last journey. One last adventure towards the undiscovered country.
5 times we went out to get people. 5 times. We lit the fire and burned the cable and we were locked inside. In life we build box barriers from those around us. So why is it only through tragedy do we come so close together? Why didn't I reach out to those around me? Why did I hide in my box? Why did I hide in fear? We come into the world wet, crying, and alone. Some of us leave in exactly the same way. On this day, we left
Together!
It's a journey that none of us wants to take. That path that awaits us has been laid out. So, I too must travel.
Fire and smoke are closing my lungs. God's brick and mortar tears have fallen down to bury themselves inside my corpse. My lungs are sanguine soot, and our bodies are carried away on the Plateau chariots across the great city of New York. Hand in hand, soul in soul, we will cross into the heavens, married in unison as a single footprint upon the earth. And one day, when the sun has risen up just for us, we will cross into that place of laughter and playfulness, up